A portion of the ad revenue from this video will be donated directly to people in western North Carolina and eastern Tennessee affected by Hurricane Helene. Just by watching this video, you're helping get food, supplies, water, showers, Starlink connectivity, and cash directly to the people who need it. The more this video is watched, the more money we can send, so please like and share this video everywhere you can. If you can and want to do more, there will be a list of trusted local organizations in the description below where you can make a tax-deductible donation. Hi there, I'm Leanne, and this is Making My Abode on the Road. So I've broken these down into 3 categories, and we're going to start with travel hacks. I think we all can agree that saving money on fuel is huge. I know for us it's one of our biggest expenses, along with RV parks. So I'm sure that it's the same for you if you're traveling a lot. We have a couple of apps that we like to use. The first one is Upside, and Upside is really just kind of like a rebate. You basically get cash back for using it at certain fuel stations. It's really easy to use. I'll show you here in just a minute. It definitely saves us money. You can save up to 25 cents off per gallon, which is pretty good. Usually it's about 10 to 15 cents, but there have been some times that we got 25 cents off. You can have the money either deposited into your checking account, or you can get gift cards, or you can get your money through PayPal. Once you're all signed up and you open the app, the map comes up with your location and any participating fuel stations. Once you find the station you want, click on it, then click Claim. You'll have about 3 hours to complete your purchase before it expires. Then you select the card that you're paying with, and you can have more than one set up, so if you have a credit card that earns 5% cash back, you could potentially save even more. The app redirects you to navigation if you need to use it. Once you arrive, exit navigation and the Upside app pops up, and then you click I've paid. You won't see your savings immediately. It's not like you don't get the discount right away at the pump. So you'll pay whatever the regular price is, but you get the cash back on the app, and then you can have it deposited. There's not always participating fuel stations around. It's kind of hit and miss. If we're in a big, like a big city, there's usually tons of different places to go. But a lot of the smaller towns, a lot of times there won't be anything nearby. So it's kind of a hit and miss. You just kind of have to play around with it and see if it works good for you. Number 2 is the Open Roads Fuel Discount Program. It's an RV fuel discount program, and you can save between 40 and 60 cents a gallon. That's pretty good. That's amazing. It's free to join the program. You just go online, you apply. So once you sign up, you get a card, and you use this card at the pump. And you can't go to the regular pumps. You have to go to the trucking lanes. So this card can really only be used at like truck stops. So the card, you don't have an account. It's not like an account. It's just linked to one of your accounts. You can either use a savings account or a checking account. And if that makes you uncomfortable, you can just open like a separate savings or checking account that's just for fuel, which actually is a great way to track your fuel expenses. But you could just connect it to that. So if anything were to happen and there were nefarious people that got a hold of your information, they wouldn't be able to wipe out your account completely. When you have your account set up and you're ready to use your Open Roads EFS card, you open the app, the map comes up, and the blue dot is your location. Then you'll see truck stops come up in the area and along your route. The prices shown will be your final price. TA, Loves, Maverick are the usuals, and sometimes QT and Pilot depending on your location. It makes it so easy to find the best price near you or along your route. Once you find the one you want, you click on it and click Get Directions. The app will redirect you to navigation. After you pay at the pump with that specific EFS card, the payment doesn't come out of your account right away, but you want to make sure the money's in there, because it'll be the very next day. Sometimes it'll be 2 or 3 days, just to give you an idea. So we've been with this program since the very beginning, because why not? It's a free program. You might as well just sign up, and if it could potentially save you money on fuel, and this is diesel fuel only, by the way. then of course sign up for it, right? Well, we hardly ever used it, and it was partly because we were just kind of confused as to how it works. And if you've ever noticed, it seems like the truck stops always have the highest fuel prices. So we were like, I mean, right down there, it's $1 cheaper. We might as well just use that and go there, you know. It is easy to use, but there's a bit of a learning curve. So the very first time we used it, we noticed that when we pumped the gas and there wasn't a discount applied. So just be aware, the discount, it's kind of like with the Upside, the discount won't be applied right there at the pump.
Where is my money?
But once it goes through your account, it reflects the discount. Hopefully that makes sense. So one of the issues we had, we hadn't used it for a couple months, and we had gone to, I think it was like a Love's, and we went through the line, we were in the trucking lines, and we're trying to use the card, and it's asking for a control number, and I'm like, I don't know what the control number is. I was thinking, was it a PIN? Did they give me a PIN? And I gave my PIN number what I thought it would be, and that didn't work. And so it was just totally confusing. But if you sign up for the program, your control number, it's basically like a PIN, but your control number is the last 4 of your social. So hopefully that will help you. If you're going through and you're like, what the hell's the control number, then that's what it is. Recently, we have started using it more, and it has saved us quite a bit of money. I'm pretty sure we even got $1 off per gallon at one point. I can't remember for sure, but it has saved us quite a bit of money, and it's free to sign up. So, I mean, why not? Okay, so moving on to number 2, GPS apps. Remember back in the day before GPS and before Google Maps, even before MapQuest?
Any thoughts on how we're gonna get there?
Remember when you had to go to like a payphone at the 7-Eleven and look at the phone book and look up the address and then look at the map in the back of the address and figure out how to get there? Remember that? Could you imagine trying to do that while living this RV lifestyle? GPS is a lifesaver as far as that goes. It has gotten us all across the country. So we use 2 of them. We use the standard Google. Sometimes Google Maps can be a little ridiculous, so you just have to be careful and, you know, just kind of really look at stuff, maybe zoom in on the map and kind of look at where things are, see if it's taking you in some weird route. Because once you zoom in, you can really kind of see where parking lots are and things like that. For the most part, it works really well. Like I said, it's gotten us across the country, and that's the one that we use the most. The second GPS app we use is Hammer, and it was actually developed by truckers, for truckers. Which is cool because you can actually put in your stats, you know, like the length and the weight and all that, and your height, and it will avoid, you know, like low bridges or anything else that could be a hazard for how big your rig is. So that's actually pretty cool. One of the things that we don't like about it, and the reason that we don't use it as often, is sometimes the routes are much longer and kind of unnecessary. Okay, number 3 for travel hacks, and this is one of my favorite. We like to use the Walmart pickup because I don't want to go to the grocery store and go in and get a buggy and shop and do all that after we just traveled for 4 or 5 hours. It's very easy to use. You have to have the app on your phone, but like I said, it's super easy. It saves us so much time, and it saves money too because I'm not in there impulse buying, you know, and looking at the shiny objects. So it definitely saves us money and time. It's free. You just want to download the app on your phone. You create an account, and if you've ever ordered anything from Walmart.com, you probably already have an account. So anyway, create an account, sign in. You can have it delivered too, which actually when we were in Pigeon Forge, we stayed in Pigeon Forge for 4 months, and that place is nuts. The traffic is insane, and we didn't want to go anywhere half the time unless it was like for fun stuff, adventures and stuff. But grocery shopping, forget it. We hated that. So we would have it delivered, and it was well worth paying the tip to the driver and the fee. I think the fee is like $10 to have it delivered. And then you just go in and you pick your items, you add your items to the cart, you pay right there online, and then you schedule your pickup and you show up at that time. So let's say you pick the time from 4 to 5 p.m. Even if you don't make it in time for whatever reason, let's say there's tons of traffic or whatever, you can still pick up your stuff. I believe they hold it for 7 days, I want to say, but that doesn't sound right. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what they do, but they will hold it. So you can show up late and it's not a big deal. Sometimes, of course, there's not a Walmart nearby. And just depending on how much time we have or what we feel like doing, we might stop at a Walmart on our way, like on our route, and then pick up the order and just put it in the fridge and the cabinets, and then we're good to go. Once we get to our spot, we don't have to go grocery shopping. One of the drawbacks with this is you do have to plan ahead for the most part. It's not exactly just on a whim you can say, okay, I'll do a Walmart order while you're driving. Sometimes that works, but not usually. You kind of want to probably do it the day before, or let's say if you're going to show up at your destination in the afternoon, you could do it early in the morning, like even before you start packing up, because the time slots, you know, kind of go away once they get filled up. Okay, number 4, mail service. That's a big question. People always want to know how you get your mail. That was one of my questions before we first started. I was like, how the heck am I going to do this? So you have a couple options. You can join a mail service, and there are lots of different ones. I'll tell you about the one we use. Or you can just use a family member's address and have all your mail sent there. So we use iPostal, and you could get an address in all 50 states. That's what we did since we're Colorado residents. We thought, well, we want to keep our residency for hunting and just to make things easier as far as car registration and all of that. They have an app that's very easy to use. You can check your mail right there on your phone or on a computer. You can have it all consolidated and shipped to wherever you're staying. Or you can have it shipped to a family member. If you have them scan it, they open it up, they scan it and put it into the program, and then you can just go online, usually the next day, and look at the mail, and then you can ask them to discard it. There is an extra fee to have it scanned, so just be aware of that. You can also receive packages there. We don't usually do that. I only receive one package there actually, and it's our RVer club, because since they automatically send it to you, it's too hard when you're traveling every week to have it sent, you know, because I never know. I'd have to go in there and change the address all the time. So we just have it sent to that address and then forwarded to wherever we are once we have a bunch of mail. There is a fee to ship, but it's not much, and you can have it sent to you, you know, quick, like within 3 days, and of course it's going to cost more, but it's usually maybe like $5, because I usually have an envelope full of stuff to send. So you don't really want to use it for packages, because it just doesn't really make sense, because you pay for shipping to have it shipped to your iPostal address, and then you'd have to pay for shipping again to have it shipped to you. That leads me to number 5. We use Amazon lockers or the UPS store for other packages. Most of the time we can have our Amazon packages just shipped right to the RV park, but there are some who either don't allow that or they want to charge you, and
What? That's highway robbery. I won't pay it.
enough with the nickel and diming. Like, I already pay enough. Okay, so like I'm not gonna pay $5 to get my package. The Amazon lockers are usually at gas stations. So Amazon has Amazon lockers, but then they have Amazon pickup locations. I haven't had much luck with the pickup locations, but I know a lot of times like Kohl's or Burlington Coat Factory, they'll be like a pickup location, and you could just have it sent there and then go and pick it up. It can be a little tricky to find a locker, especially through the app. It doesn't seem to be, maybe my app just needs updated, I don't know, but it doesn't seem to be very user friendly. So what we do is just Google search a locker where we're gonna be. Okay, let's say we're in Seattle, Washington. I would just search Amazon locker in Seattle, and then it brings up a map, and you can click the map and it'll show your location. So you zoom in and it's really easy to see which one is closest to you. And you click on it and it gives you the address, and that's the address that you plug in on the Amazon app to get your order sent. And then it just shows up in the box. To use the Amazon lockers, you do have to have, you know, a smartphone with Bluetooth. So it connects to the locker, and you punch in a code and it ends up opening the locker, and you just walk over and get your package. It's very, very easy to use. It sounds a little complicated, but I promise it's so easy. For the RV parks that won't let you have stuff sent to you, actually we just experienced this the other day. We stayed at 1,000 Trails, and it seems like 1,000 Trails are the ones who really don't let you send packages unless it's medicine or like an RV part. Then they're allowed to take those, but they charge you $5. Some of them just charge you $5. Some of them say, no, you can't even have anything shipped here.
That is something we cannot allow.
I don't know. I don't really know if it's 1,000 Trails thing or what. It's the same exact thing. You just plug in the address of that UPS store. It gets delivered there. You show up. You do need an ID and you sign for it and you get your package. It's super easy. Okay, so moving on to some general hacks that will make RV living easier. I say this all the time and I feel like everybody says this all the time.
I said it before and I'll say it again.
Using bins and baskets to organize your stuff in your cabinets to keep it from falling and flying all over the place. Because the last thing you want is to come in after travel day and you open up your cabinet and stuff lands on you, or you know, something's broken and you got to clean that up, or food is all over the place and you got to clean that up. That's just annoying. So bins and baskets, lifesaver. Number 7, a knife magnet. And I know I have mentioned this before, but only briefly, so I think it's worth mentioning again. Using a knife block really isn't practical because most of us have hardly any counter space as it is, and the last thing we need is a big old knife block on the counter. It's also not practical to put them in the drawers. I mean, we have hardly any drawer space. Some only one. They seem to dull faster. Is it just me? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure they dull much faster. So a knife magnet will keep them nice and sharp, nice and organized. Now, on travel day, by the way, when we first got the knife magnet, I went ahead and I let them travel on the knife magnet. I don't know why I did that. I think I wanted to test it out, but that's kind of silly. Like, I think, you know, if they had fallen down, I might have had a hole in the floor. So the knives stayed still, they stayed put, but we don't do that anymore. So I just roll them up in a towel and stick them in the sink. Okay, number 8, bread storage. Where do you store your bread in your RV? Put it in the comments below, because when we first moved in here, I moved the bread around probably 5 times. There's never a place for bread, and it's also not practical to have a bread box on your counter because it takes up so much space. So let me know below where you put your bread, and I'm going to show you what we do. So what I ended up doing is just using the microwave to store, because we don't really use our microwave very often. So just throwing the bread in there was fine, except for when we did want to use the microwave, we had to pull all the bread out. I found the perfect size fabric basket, and now we could just pull the basket in and out when we need bread. That has made it so much easier to deal with. Number 9, an essential oil diffuser. Small spaces get so stinky, especially if you're cooking or if you have dogs, like we have 2 dogs, or if you have cats. You know how it can be. It's icky. And the essential oil, it works well for both of those things. It helps get rid of the cooking odors and the animal odors. It's natural, light scents. It's so much better for me than a candle, even though I do enjoy candles, but sometimes they can be really irritating and, you know, give me a headache and that kind of thing. So the essential oils, I love them. They work great. Okay, number 10, securing your refrigerator for travel days. And this is really only going to apply to people who have a residential refrigerator, because when you have the 3-way fridge, the one that's propane or electric, it latches and clicks in nice and tight and it never opens. We never had ours open, except for one time, but I think that was just because it wasn't closed all the way. You're probably gonna think I'm nuts, but I promise you it works. We use blue tape, you know, like the painter's tape, and a silicone twisty tie. So we upgraded our refrigerator from the 3-way absorption to the residential, and I'll link that video up above, by the way. You can go watch that and kind of see how we did that and how I organized it. But anyway, there wasn't any way to secure the refrigerator, and so we were kind of concerned that it might fall over or slide out during travel day. So my husband put some D-rings in the aluminum studs, and then we found a kayak strap, which, by the way, it took us forever to find the right kind of strap so that it wouldn't scratch the stainless steel. Everything, you know, it has like metal buckles and everything. So what we ended up finding was a kayak strap, and it has rubber all around the buckle part and a nice, you know, soft strap. And then we just feed it through the D-rings in the back and strap it around the front of the fridge so it doesn't go anywhere. So let me just show you real quick how we do this. We use the secured basket on top of the fridge to hold the strap so it doesn't get lost behind the fridge. The silicone twist tie is an extra precaution along with the blue tape. We forgot to secure the freezer once and it popped open and now there's a couple of dents. So this works very well. The first travel after we installed the fridge, we had no way to secure it except for blue tape. Jeff uses it for work, so it's always on hand. And we taped that baby up and it did not budge. Okay, number 11, clean your AC filters often. And I know it's probably starting to get cool in a lot of places. We're up here in Washington and it's freezing. So this might not apply to you if it's getting cool like that. But actually, we have a heat pump in one of our ACs. And so cleaning the filters applies for that also. Cleaning those filters just helps it. It's unbelievable. And they get clogged pretty quick just from dust. And then, of course, we have pets. It just makes the AC run much more efficient whether you're trying to cool down or stay warm. Another way to help control the temps in your RV is to replace your blackout shades with blackout curtains. I made a video on how we did that in our RV and I will link that above as well as in the description below. I did not like the window boxes. I thought they were so ugly, so I wanted to get rid of them. I wanted to keep the blackout though, especially in the living room and in the bedroom, so we could sleep, and then in the living room just for watching movies and things like that. And I accidentally discovered that it also helps hold it, because they're pretty thick, but they also help hold in heat. It was really cold when I finally got the ones up in our bedroom, and it blocked a lot of that cold air that comes through the windows. And I have noticed the same this summer, that it blocks a lot of that heat coming through. So that's another great way to control the temperatures in your RV. Some people like to put up that silver stuff, and I'm sure that works. That probably works really well. But for me, I like to see out. I need to see out the windows, and that would make me feel so claustrophobic. So I think the blackout curtains is a great solution if you're like me. Okay, let's move on to some cleaning hacks, and we're gonna start with laundry. I just wanna start by saying, first of all, that we highly recommend onboard laundry. I mean, it's fantastic. I don't have to go to the laundromat anymore and use a washing machine and a dryer that a million other people have used. They're always disgusting, they're always filthy. And you know, people go there and they wash the blanket that their dog just puked on last night. So yuck, you know what I mean? Like icky. No more dragging my clothes all over the place. Even if we're at an RV park that has laundry, just getting the clothes to the laundromat. No more quarters. No more having to find a laundromat if the RV park doesn't have laundry. No more spending all day at the laundromat. Like, what's your time worth? You know what I mean? I know the washing machines are expensive, but what's your time worth? It's a lot for me. Like, I want to be with my family. I want to do fun things. I don't want to spend all day at the laundromat. I know not everyone can get onboard laundry, but if you can, we highly, highly recommend it. But if you don't have onboard laundry and you can't get onboard laundry, I have a few tips for you. Number 13, a laundry bag and a cart. So I had this laundry bag from Amazon. It's collapsible. And I had this cart from Walmart. This bag fits perfectly inside this cart, and it made laundry day so much easier. People loved it too. They would see me, they'd be like, "Where did you get that cart? That's perfect." And I was like, I know, it is, isn't it? I've seen a lot of people use a collapsible wagon. That's also fantastic. By the way, I will have links for everything down below in the description. So if any of the things that I mentioned interest you, you can definitely find them down there. Number 14, a pump bottle for your laundry soap. Okay, if I lived in a house, if I ever move back into a house, I will still do this. This is the best thing ever. I put my laundry soap in a pump bottle. What I did was I measured out 2 tablespoons and so I figured out how many pumps it would be. It takes 6 pumps to do a load of laundry. And I swear this has saved me so much money because I feel like I'm not buying laundry soap as often. The user manual on my machine, my new machine that I put in here, said to only ever use 2 tablespoons. And the money we spent on it, I just want to make sure that it lasts, so I'm following all the directions. I love this hack. I mean, have you ever had clothes that kind of stink and smell a little funky after a little while? That's from using too much soap. Everyone uses way too much soap. I mean, they give you that giant thing. How are you supposed to only use 2 tablespoons when they give you that giant lid? Like, it looks like you're supposed to fill the whole cup. I know it has the marks on there, but who the hell can see that? No one can see those lines in there. I mean, you know. I don't have to worry about spilling the soap everywhere. The pump just makes it so much easier. My clothes are in much better condition. I feel like they're lasting longer, and I'm not destroying my machine. Number 15, keep extra quarters.
Quarters! 1,000,000 allowances worth of quarters!
I mean, we would get like our 4 rolls of quarters, right? But then I would have 4 more because sometimes it's difficult to find a place to give you. Remember the quarter shortage during COVID? Yeah. So have yourself some extra quarters, like a stash, like a laundry quarter stash. And then, of course, the quarters you're going to use for that day. Number 16, baking soda for stains. This is crazy. The first time I saw this, I was watching a YouTube video. I think it was like a Korean homemaker. I love those YouTube channels, by the way. But anyway, she used baking soda to get a stain out of like a white cloth. And I thought, oh my gosh, how is she going to get this? How is this going to work? And you just use baking soda and boiling water, and it's like magic. Let me show you. So every time I buy strawberries, I wash them, cut them up, and dry them before they go into the fridge. The number of dish towels that have been stained up and ruined is countless, but no more with this hack. You're gonna love this. I use my electric kettle to boil some water. I plug up the sink and put the stained towel in the sink. And by the way, you want to make sure you ventilate when you do this, so just open a window or turn on the vent fan. Then sprinkle baking soda on the towel all over the stains. And then when your water is done boiling, pour it over the dish towel and kind of swish it around with like a fork or tongs or something. And you can see the stains disappear almost immediately. Isn't that nuts? I let it soak for about 5 minutes and then rinse it out and hang it to dry. I usually run it through the wash too, but probably not necessary. Number 17, cleaning the electric kettle with citric acid. I will link that in the description below. It's not something that you usually find. I mean, I guess you could use vinegar. If the smell of vinegar really bugs you, the citric acid is a really, really great alternative because it doesn't stink. It doesn't have any scent to it at all. Do you have an electric kettle? I feel like most RVers have an electric kettle. We love our electric kettle. We use it for so many different things. You saw I just used it for that little stain remover trick. Sometimes we go to places and the water is really minerally or, you know, just kind of like hard water, and it builds up pretty quickly in the kettle. And I do not want to sit there and scrub and, you know, sometimes you got to like chisel. It's terrible. This is so much easier than trying to scrub it. So here's the hack. Just sprinkle a couple tablespoons inside the kettle, fill it with water, and just heat it up, and it magically disappears. Now you do want to make sure that you run another kettle full of water through it and just rinse it really well, because you don't want to drink the citric acid. I mean, it says it's food grade, but I don't think that'll make your coffee taste too great, so just rinse it out really well. You can throw your silverware in at the same time to get some extra sanitation too. Mine was looking pretty dull, so I went ahead and ran it through. And with the lid open, by the way, it won't stop on its own, so I have to manually stop the electric kettle. You want to make sure that you rinse your silverware really, really well, just to get all the citric acid off. And they come out so bright and shiny and fully sanitized. And speaking of dishes, number 18, use rubber gloves for doing your dishes. First of all, it protects your hands and your nails while you're washing, but it also protects your hands from the hot water. So you don't have to constantly be adjusting the water temperature. You can just use straight hot water. Your dishes will get cleaner and you'll do them faster because the water's so stinking hot. It just makes doing the dishes so much quicker and easier. And number 19. by the way, this is just a quick little tip, kind of like a bonus of how to battle clutter. If clutter is a problem for you, I promise this is probably one of your problems. It was one of mine. But when you're coming in, let's say you just come in from travel day and you got all your stuff, you know, I always have a bunch of crap with me. So if you come in and you just set it on the counter and then you start doing stuff, you're going to have clutter and it's going to be annoying. So here's the tip. Put it away. Don't set it down. Everything needs a place to live. I think we all kind of know that now. And if you don't have a place for it, you might want to consider getting rid of it or getting rid of something else to make a place for it. If you just live by that and really make an effort to do that, clutter will not be a problem for you anymore. Unless you have too much stuff, in which case then you need to probably go through your stuff and just get rid of stuff. You don't have room for it in your RV anyway. Okay, number 20, an e-cloth mop for cleaning the windows outside. I love this hack. You know, my husband, he will wash the outside of the camper and it'll look so shiny and so nice. And the windows will be clean, but inside you can see water spots. This will help get rid of them. And it's so quick, so easy. It's ridiculous. So it doesn't come out perfect, you know. I mean, I guess I'd rather get like a ladder and, you know, use a cloth and get it really, you know, actually, that's a lie. I'm not getting a ladder. I'm not going to are you going to get a ladder and go and, yeah. So this will work much better for you. It won't be perfect, but it'll work really well. And it's easy. Number 21, a Scrub Daddy duster for windowsills. You know how when you use a washcloth or like a microfiber cloth to clean the dust and the little screws in the window snag your cloth and leave a string or a hole or whatever? That is so annoying, but this little duster prevents that and it cleans really well. And it just uses water. You can just use straight water and it cleans the dust perfectly. Number 22, use a Dollar Tree dish brush to clean cracks. You can use it on the cracks on the stairs inside, and you can use it on the cracks in the windowsills where dust and debris, leaves, all kinds of stuff in there, bugs get in there, and that thing will dig all that out, and then you can just vacuum it up. And you can also use it on the cracks and crevices on your screen doors. You know, those always get so dusty. If you liked this video, first of all, give it a big thumbs up. That really helps my channel. And if you want more RV life hacks, I recommend watching this video next. And in this video, I share all my favorite RV organization hacks. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.